Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Turner, and today I'll be talking with you about the compensation and classification study that my firm, Evergreen Solutions, will be performing for Fayette County Public Schools. We're really excited to start working with you guys, so let's get started. First, I want to talk about who Evergreen is. So Evergreen Solutions has done over 500 of these compensation and classification studies. We are well versed in many of the issues that might come up, so we feel we are well prepared for being able to provide you guys the best recommendation possible and being able to handle anything that comes our way with this study. We worked in over 46 states. We have extensive public sector human resource experience. We have expertise in higher education, school divisions, local governments, state agencies, and quasi-governmental organizations. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the goals of this study. With this study, we have two main goals: to ensure internal and external equity. And you may ask, what is internal equity? Well, in the case of this study, internal equity has to do with, for example, making sure that jobs, let's say they're found in different departments, but are performing similar duties and have similar tasks, will be compensated equally or similarly since they're performing very similar duties. Same idea is with the supervisors compared to their employee salaries. Now, because we hold supervisors to a higher degree than the employees they directly supervise. So supervisors should be compensated higher than the employees that they're supervising. With that being said, a main way we will be analyzing the internal equity of your organization is with the JAT, the Job Assessment Tool. That is a big part of what we will be talking about today. But we'll be talking more about the JAT in a few minutes. Now, the second goal of the study, external equity. That has to do with how does your organization match up with other similar organizations in the area or that are similarly structured, or that are your competitors. So the way we're going to test this is we're going to perform a market survey. This is when we will go out and collect your pure organizational salary data and directly compare what they have for their salary data with your salary data and see how your organization matches up. And we're going to use both these to produce a recommendation to provide your organization with a classification and compensation system that is equitable for both internal and external equity. Now, employee participation. This study really is diminished without a lot of employee participation. Now, one way you'll be able to participate, and a big way you'll be able to participate, is with the Job Assessment Tool, the JAT. And a big way supervisors will be able to participate is with the Job Assessment Tool, them filling out theirs and being able to review their employee JAT. The whole goal of the study is being able to really collect the most up-to-date information about your organization's compensation system so we can make the best recommendation possible to only hopefully benefit the employees and everyone in the organization as a whole. Again, I want to reiterate how important it is for employee participation, especially with the Job Assessment Tool. Now, here's an overview of what the Job Assessment Tool entails. Like I said, the JAT is a critical part of the study. The way we use it is to determine how work is organized, to determine whether the organization is paying competitively and fairly. It will help us make a recommend appropriate pay levels and ranges, and it hopefully with all the data we collect, it will help us design a new system that is fair and equitable for both internal and external equity. Now, a little more overview of the JAT, the job assessment tool that every employee will be participating in. So it'll start off with, we will send you an email. It'll have the link to the job assessment website where you'll log in. The way you log in is with your unique ID. Now the unique ID will be attached to this email that the video is attached to. It's down below. You'll be able to plug in your unique ID to be able to log into your job assessment tool. Now the JAT will be available starting today, Wednesday, September 29th, for the next 2 weeks. I believe we're looking till October 15th. It's a Friday. And then the supervisor review will start 1 week, will last 1 week after that. It will start as soon as the job assessment tool is complete. Now you can complete this job assessment tool, your JAT app, from any computer, from home, from work. It'll be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during the 2 week period from Wednesday, September 29th to Friday, October 15th. Here is the 5 sections of the JAT. As you might have noticed, it is set up just like a job description. First section will just be a general overview of your job, work experience. Second one will be essential job functions. Third section will be what we like to call our 5 job factors. Section 4 will be the type of equipment and machinery you'll use. Section 5 is the physical abilities needed to perform your job adequately. Now, this is what the login screen looks like for the job assessment tool once you click the link below. This will pop up. You'll put your unique ID in and you'll be able to see your last name. If you don't see your last name, please email us and let us know so we can fix it. But if you see your last name, you're good to go. Press continue. When you press continue, this is what will pop up. As you can see, it'll be the employee JAT. You'll click into that just to start. Or if you're in a time of supervisor review, this is the same way supervisor review will log in to the supervisor review. Instead of clicking employee JAT, they'll click the supervisor review button. And want everyone to see the email below. This is the same email that sent you this letter. It is the JAT@consultevergreen.com. It is the help email. If you have any questions at all about the JAT, you can just email us and we'll be happy to help you guys. So once you click the employee JAT button, this is what will pop up, the 5 sections of the JAT like I showed you before. Does not matter which order you complete them in, but for the sake of this video, we will start with basic information. This is what it will look like when you press the basic information button. You'll see your last name, your first name, and your job title. Please make sure that these are correct and let us know if there's any errors so we can fix them. The first section you'll be filling out is job introduction. This is a brief overview of your job. For example, let's say you are at a coffee shop with your friend and they ask you, what do you do? What does your job entail? The 2 to 3 sentences that you would tell them is what you would put in this section. Again, it is just a basic summary about 2 to 3 sentences of what your job entails. The next part you'll fill out is supervisory responsibilities. This is where we want you to put the number of employees that you are directly supervising and the number of employees you are indirectly supervising. If you do not directly supervise any employees and you do not indirectly supervise any employees, just leave it blank. The next part we want you to fill out is the type of work. Now, this is the level of work that best describes the work you perform. So the first available option to click is the clerical/manual labor. It'll go down to labor/trade-based occupation, technical/paraprofessional, administrative work, managerial/professional work, all the way down to the very last option, executive/advanced professional. Please read through each of these carefully and pick whichever one best matches your job. Next, you'll fill in the education and experience. Now, we're looking for the level of education experience that would be needed for someone starting the job today. We are not interested in the level of education experience that you have currently, unless it is the level that is needed for someone to start your job today. Next will be the licenses and certifications. This section, we would like you to fill in any required licenses or certifications to perform your job, and any licenses and certifications that would be beneficial for someone to perform this job. Again, I want everyone to be able to see the big green save button at the bottom. Please remember to press the save button. There will be options throughout the whole JAT. It does not save automatically. You need to press the save button in order for us to collect your information. Section 2, essential functions. This is the bread and butter of the JAT. This is where you'll put all your tasks and responsibilities and your duties throughout the whole year. On the JAT itself, you'll have 15 different slots to be able to fill in all your duties and tasks. You should have plenty of space. Again, if you don't have any space, just try your best and combine the tasks and duties that would fit together. The reason why we were looking at a yearly basis of job duties is because, let's say, for example, an accountant. A main part of being an accountant is closing the financials at the end of the year, the financial sheets. And they only do that once a year. They're not doing this throughout the whole year, closing the books, things like that. They do it at the end of the period, end of the accounting period. So we want to be able to capture all of that and the importance of that. As you can see, there's a spot for the percent. We are looking for not an exact percent, but we want to see where you spend most of your time. Which tasks are most important for your job? Which tasks are most time consuming? And then you will click 2 to 3 most priority tasks that you have that you feel are the most important for your job. Section 3, the job factors. Now, this entails 5 multiple choice questions just like this. With this, you will be able to let us know the level of leadership that you have in your organization. So we'll start off with, I follow specific directions to provide my supervisor and receive feedback on what I do. Very little level of leadership. Your job, you're really just following directions, doing what your supervisor says, so on. And the very bottom option is, I determine strategy as well as long range goals for the organization. As you can see, that is very high level of leadership, basically making the strategy for the whole organization, determining the direction of where things are going. So please read through these options very carefully and pick whichever one best matches your job. At the very bottom on the JT, there will be a section to be able to write in extra information that would help us give us more context for why you picked what you picked. Next one we're looking for is working conditions. Please fill in please pick whichever one best matches your job, just like the other one, just like when we're looking for leadership. It'll be the same exact way for the next 3 questions. Again, for working conditions, we're looking for whichever one best closely matches your job right now. So do you work in a relatively safe and secure work environment? Like, are you have an office job, are you sit at a desk in a building, or are you working in an environment with heavy equipment and machinery that could result in bodily harm, or are you working regularly to make decisions that could lead to major community or organizational consequences? Again, please pick whichever one best matches your job. And just like the other questions coming up, you'll be able to fill in more information at the bottom in the text box. Question 3, the complexity of your job. With this, we're looking for the level of complexity with job, just like it may seem. The first option you'll have is I perform specific clerical or manual labor tasks. And it goes all the way down to I develop policies, long-range plans, and I allocate funds. Just like the other questions, please read through each of these carefully and pick whichever one best matches your job. Question 4, decision-making. We're looking to capture the level of decision-making you have at your job. First one will start off with very little decision-making. It's saying I perform routine or clearly defined activities under close supervision. Very little to no decision-making. All the way down to I perform work that involves high-level issues, processes, or organizational needs. So you're making big-time decisions for organization, things that could change the way your organization functions as a whole. Again, just like the other one, please read through each of these carefully and pick whichever one best matches your job. Finally, the last question, relationships. We want to know the type of relationships you have at work. Basically, for example, are you working alone? Are you working with less than 10 coworkers? Are you overseeing and managing employees? Please, again, read through each of these very carefully. Pick whichever one best matches your job. And at the very bottom, there'll be a text box so you can add more contact, more information about how you picked what you picked if you'd like. Section 4, equipment. This section, we're looking to collect the type of equipment you need to perform your job adequately. So do you need small office equipment like copy machines or multi-line telephone systems? Do you need equipment and machinery such as vehicles or commercial mowers? Please check the box for whichever one you do to perform your job. Finally, section 5 of the JAT is the physical abilities. The first part of the physical abilities will be the type of work. This involves 5 options you can press. First one is sedentary work. Are you sitting down most of the time? Doesn't involve lifting more than 10 pounds. Moving all the way down to very heavy work involving lifting objects weighing more than 100 pounds at a time. Please, just like job factors, read each of these very carefully and pick whichever one best matches your job. The final section of the physical abilities is the required physical abilities. This will be where you'll indicate below all physical abilities you must have to perform your essential job functions. For me, I could do my job in a wheelchair. I don't need to be able to walk around, to be able to jump around, to perform my job adequately. But for some jobs, you will need to be able to handle things. You will be able to need to walk around. You will need to be able to jump, crouch, push, kneel, things like that. So read each of these options very carefully. Please press the checkbox for whichever one you need to perform your job adequately. Again, just like at the end of every section, please press the save button. Now that's the end of the JAT. Like I said, please remember to click the save button because the JAT will time out after 1 hour. So the JAT should not take you more than 30 to 45 minutes to complete. Should be relatively straightforward. Remember, we're looking for the most up-to-date information about your job. Please, you can use your current job description as a guide, but please do not just copy and paste it straight over unless it is exactly what type of duties and tasks you're performing right now. If you have any questions whatsoever, any concerns about the JAT, you can contact us at jat@consultevergreen.com, or you can give us a call at 850-383-0111. Now, again, participation in the JAT is very, very important for the study. This study loses some of its value when employees don't participate. Having the up-to-date information is invaluable for us to be able to make the best recommendation possible to only help the organization as a whole. help you guys, help your supervisors, help managers, help everyone involved. So again, I want to stress that a lot. Please participate. Please fill in your JAT. It will only benefit you. Now let's get into the supervisor review. Once the JAT is complete on October 15th, as soon as that is complete, the supervisor review will begin. Now, the supervisor will have 1 week to complete it. Basically, what the supervisor review entails is supervisors will review and they will agree or disagree and provide additional comments for each of their direct reports, employees they supervise directly. The reason why we have a supervisor review, the reason why we started doing this is we noticed that supervisors understand where the problem jobs are in their organization. They know which jobs are not classed right, which jobs they're having a hard time recruiting for, which jobs they're having a hard time keeping people on for, things like that. They are in the thick of it. They are in the trenches. They know what works, what jobs are working, what jobs aren't. Again, it just adds even more context for us, more information to help us make a better recommendation for you guys. Like I said earlier, it's the same exact way as logging to the JAT, an employee JAT, but instead of pressing the employee JAT button at the top, you press the bottom green button, the supervisor review. So when you press that, this is what will pop up. As you can see, you'll be able to see all your direct reports below, their name, their class title, if they have completed their JAT or not, and if a supervisor review was completed or not on their job. You'll also see in the middle the management issue tool, which is part of the supervisor review, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But let's look what it will look like for the supervisors once they click into one of their employees' JATs. So this is what it looks like. You will see exactly what the employee put, the description, the type of work, the education, the experience, any certifications, anyone they're direct supervising or indirect supervising. As you can see below, you'll be able to agree or disagree with what they said and then provide more comments. Again, supervisors, we really appreciate if you can participate in this as well. Like I said earlier, it's imperative for our study. It just adds extra information for us and allows us to be able to make the best recommendation possible for your organization. Now let's talk a little bit about the MIT, the management issue tool. This will allow managers, supervisors to provide even more context than just adding a comment. They will be able to specify exactly what job they're having a hard time classifying, what job they feel is not, they're having a hard time recruiting for or holding people on for that position. So when you press the management issue tool, we will see this. This is what it will look like. So your last name will pop up and your job title, which is the job title of the person reviewing and your name of the person who's reviewing the job that is an issue. You'll have to type in the job you want to review and the employee's name. And this is the issues you'll be able to click and add more context for. For example, do you have a classification job issue? Is the job, do you need to update it? Do you need more, do you have a hard time recruiting for this job? Do you feel this job's underpaid? Do you feel this job doesn't belong in your department? Things like that. Or even if the duties are off, just allow us even more information, help us provide even better recommendations for your organization as a whole. So please, supervisors, employees, everyone involved in this needs to participate in do their part. Employees need to participate in their JATs, employee JATs, supervisors need to participate in the employee JAT and provide us with supervisor review of their direct reports and perform a management issue tool if needed. Again, thank you guys. This is the end of my spiel to say. If you have any questions, again, please give us a call, email us. We're happy to help you guys. We want everyone to be able to participate, everyone to provide information for this. I want to reiterate how important it is for you guys, for your organization, for everyone involved, for you to participate. It just works for us. It's a really big part of the study. Please participate. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, email us if you have any questions. That's it. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.